Sudanese war enters the third year. Today is 15th April 2025. Since the war started on 15th April 2022, it has clocked 3 years, displaced over 50 million people in different directions, many people not accounted for. A humanitarian catastrophe lingers in the entire region. The Nile corridor infested with many rebel activities up to the Egyptian border and to Mediterranean Sea. On the other side, in Libya, General Khalifa Haftar continues to wreak havoc. This is Matanga Africa Perspective, bringing you all the news, all the perspective of Africa. The war in Sudan. For the last 20 years or so, I've been involved in the crisis in Sudan. First as a chief mediator and a chief negotiator of the peace that was got in my country, Uganda. Secondly, as a person who opposed International Criminal Court against the warrants that were issued against Bashir, citing and telling the world that these warrants will bring chaos and will destabilize Sudan. My words have not gone. They are now more than well done. They have done, they have come home. They have been witnessed. Everybody has seen what I told them. Way back in 2017, I went to Khartoum in a conference that was called by the African Chief Justices, and I addressed them on the question of International Criminal Court. I told them one of the biggest dangers of warrants of arrest that are issued against a head of state or any sitting head of state in Africa is the question of warrants removing legitimacy. I was right. People did not understand me. As usual, we in the Black community and the Black Africans don't listen to our fellow Black intellectuals. We prefer to listen to the advice of other people who would come in as experts. The war in Sudan, therefore, has destroyed the country's economy, shattered the political life and the social life of this country, property destroyed, humanitarian catastrophe, human beings killed. Everything is at a standstill except the armies, the two armies that are fighting over the control of Sudan. Where did we go wrong on this conflict? General Bashir was overthrown by his own two generals, close allies, who commanded the war in Darfur. Both by General Burhan and General Hamid were commanders of Janjaweed. In fact, one of my contention in my papers that I wrote a letter to them, both when they were in power, not to allow the International Criminal Court, the Chief Prosecutor ICC, Karim Khan, to come to Khartoum to persuade them to hand over Bashir. I warned them that handing over Bashir would destabilize the nation, because the country that is hunting down Bashir is not a signatory to the ICC treaty, neither has it ratified the treaty, and that was America. I was right. I'm talking about this war and everything that I have predicted has come to pass. I again stood up and said the dangers of a coup are about to knock the doors. it came to pass that again I told you. I again said external forces are a hindrance, and IGAD was a hindrance to the peace process that you want to bring about in Sudan. Because some of the members of IGAD are participants of this same conflict. They have taken sides, therefore the conflict might not be resolved. But what then do we and where do we go from here? Over 15 million people seeking medical, humanitarian, and other relief commodities, women and children caught up in the battle of the two armies, accusations of rape, defilement, gang raping, accusations of trading and selling of illegal trade arms. These accusations are all on one continent. Where did we go wrong? The geopolitical situation that Sudan finds itself on the Red Sea across is Saudi Arabia. In the north is Egypt. In the west is Chad. In the northeast is Libya. Someplace in the south, South Sudan, and Ethiopia to one west, southwest, which brings it makes it a complicated matter for this war to end, because some of these nations that are surrounding this great nation called Sudan are participants in this war. It is therefore very sad that today African Union Summit convenes, or African Union Ministers of Foreign Affairs and the Council of Ministers as it sits down in Addis Ababa. Most of the conflicts that have destroyed Africa have not been documented. I was surprised yesterday when I met some officials of the African Union, and I was told there were no documents regarding certain places like Southern Cameroon, Biafra, and others where the French have got interests. Is it us in Africa that are a problem, or is it the external forces? 15th of April 2022, the first bullet was fired. 15th April 2025, the bullet is still here. Bullets are still killing people. People are dying. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people stuck, unaccounted for. The number of refugees increases on a daily basis. What then can Africa do? What then can African Union do to resolve this conflict? The peace process in Geneva, where I took part as an independent observer, ended up during the Biden administration, ended up with no resolution or no recommendations of any further meetings. Have we forgotten Sudan? If that is the case, can we pass on this message? Whoever hears this message, tell the other, to tell the other, to tell the other that Sudan is burning. Let's get help. Let's have help. Let's help the children, the women, the elderly that have been caught in this vicious war to recover their lives. And let's do it, because the same can happen to your country. Pass this message. Thank you very much. This is Matsanga Africa Perspective, looking at Sudan on 15th of April, 2025.